All right, guys, Shotty T here. We got another video. We're a couple of days into the new season. We've had a couple of blizzards that have taken place. Of course, ideally, whenever when these blizzards happen, you want to make sure that if you're in an alliance that has a furnace, make sure everyone is within that blue circle, the blue square, so that way everyone that's in there will be properly warmed up. And then you turn on the furnace to keep your temperature above below 20 degrees, below negative 20 degrees, because if you do, then you will get rewards, and the alliance will also get rewards as well. So make sure that you are doing that. All right, but the main thing of this particular video here is this here, the dig site. So you have to take on this mammoth. And for some people, they may have a polar bear, because I've seen, like, on this opposite corner over here, I saw that this alliance had a polar bear. So, so it just really depends on where you are on the map. I think each different animal has a different recommendation on to take it down. There's another mammoth there. Trying to see if there's another animal example. So you got a gorilla here. So each one has a different criteria of champs that you prefer to have to take it down. For the gorilla, you need to have a missile squad. For the polar bear, and again, it's just depending on where you're placed, you need to have a tank squad. And if you're where we are, let me go back to where we're located, with this mammoth here, you have to attack with an aircraft squad. So you're probably wondering, well, my best champs are probably my tank champs, so how do I work with an aircraft squad? Well, what you would need to do is just switch your gears around. And if you want to write things down so you can remember it, that's totally fine. But I've switched my gears around enough time to know which gear goes on what. But it's simplified whenever you go to your gear, and it tells you who's on what. If you're organized this way, you can see it in that order, or you can just, when you click on the champs and you're about to switch your gear, it'll show you in that order there. So what I'm gonna show you is how to switch gears around. Like for our example, to turn my tank squad, which is my best team, like my best squad literally has tanks with it, and it has DBA as my fifth attacker. So by default, my best three offensive gear, which are on the left side, are with Kimberly, Stedman, and with DVA. So all I'm going to do is, because you want to use your aircraft squad with this. So once this notification goes away, let's put do not disturb on and make this more foolproof. So these are your aircraft champs. So there are 5 legendary aircraft champs in the game. So ideally, if you have all 5 of them, that's who you want to have. Now, he's a pretty good defender if you got him at 5 stars. So you can put him as a defender if you don't have Lucius, for example. But ideally, you want to have all 5 of these. If not, you can probably get by with Murphy as your 5th champ on the front end, and or Williams, depending on who you have. Because some of these champs are in the free-to-play pool. Some of them are exclusively buy only. I will tell you that the ticket pool has been updated with this season. So just to show you here, so the season 2 tickets now include McGregor. He wasn't in this ticket pool before. If you guys recall from season 1, you had Schuyler and Williams added to this pool, so they were already in there. But now you have McGregor. So because before that, the only way you can get McGregor is by buying him. But he's just a defender, nothing special. But another champ, he's still just like the general principle is legendary champs are better than epic champs. So you definitely want to get him if you can. And then in this pool, they have now added Williams and Schuyler. So this is the normal ticket pool. And again, this is if you're in season 2. So if you don't see these champs in your pool, because you're probably not in this season or have at least gone through this season. So so at least you know you between this pool and that other pool, you now have 10 legendary champs that are free to play. So you still got 5 of them that are pay only, unfortunately, which are Stedman, Lucius, Morrison, Adam, and Fiona. Now, keep in mind, Mason in season 1, you can get him legendary. All right, but he's not going to be relevant to this video. All right, so for the sake of this video, there are 15 legendary champs. So how do you switch them around? All right, let's finally get to that. So you just remove the gear. All right, and my goal is to put all my gear on all aircraft. So the best aircraft attacker I have is DVA. So we're gonna move her gear. There's 2 ways you can do it. You can either hit quick equip and it'll automatically upgrade to the highest gear available, or you can just manually click on it, hit replace and hit equip there. But that's like the snail way to do it. So I'm just gonna hit quick equip there. So it'll automatically remove her previous 2 gears. So now they're open in free inventory to put on whoever, and that'll be relevant shortly. So we're gonna put her gear there. All right, so Stedman, now again, if we're gonna take his gear off of him, we're gonna put it on Morrison. Now, if you don't have Morrison, then you would just put it on your best tank attacker, which is probably Kimberly, so which is fine. All right, but for the sake of this, I'm gonna put my gear on him, my second best gear, and then my third best gear, which was previously with DVA. We're gonna put it now on Schuyler. We're just gonna quick equip there. All right, so now if you look at my back row units, attacker wise, you got DVA with Kimberly's old gear, you got Morrison's with Stedman's gear, and you got Schuyler's with DVA gear. These are all my back row attackers. Now let's go to the front row. So the front row, you got Lucius and you have Carly. Now Carly, she's in the free to play pool. So chances are, if you're watching this video, you probably got Carly and probably don't have Lucius. Again, if you don't have Lucius, if you have this guy at 5 stars, then you can put your gear on him. Otherwise, I recommend putting it on either Murphy or Williams, depending on who has the higher stars. If they're both equal, then Williams by far. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take his gear off and we're gonna put that on Morrison. Let's go to all, not Morrison, put it on Lucius. Now I'm not gonna hit quick equip here because it's gonna change the left sided gear. So this one I'll have to manually kind of do it, which is fine. For the sake of this video, it kind of shows you 2 different ways how to move gear around. So that's perfect. All right, and then we're gonna take his gear, remove, and we're gonna put his gear on, who do I say that other one was? Carly. All right, so we're gonna replace, equip, and replace, equip. So now, let's look at it. Now our aircraft squad is DVA, Lucius, Carly, Morrison, and Schuyler. So all the gear has been moved around. So that is the unit that I have planned to attack the Mammoth later tonight. Now, if you want to get fancy with it, you can put like your other defensive gear on your second best attacker. Like if I wanted to put my other gear, like this third best gear on her, that's totally fine. If you want to put the best of the best on all 5 of them on the left and the right side, you can do that. But that's more moving around, so you have to just, if you have a pen and paper to keep track of where everyone is. For simplicity purposes, I'm just showing you this for this video. So once you're done, all you have to do is just switch them out. For me, I like to switch out the defensive stuff first. So let's put him off, put that back on Williams. All right, so we'll put Williams gear back on Williams. And then we had Carly, she had Murphy's gear. So we're gonna take hers off and put it on Murphy. So, and then I think Lucius, he had his gear. We'll put his gear back on him manually. All right, and then we're gonna put her gear, Carly's gear, back on her. So we get the defenders out the way. You want to get them out the way first. It'll make switching the offensive people back much easier. All right, so we're gonna take her gear off, and we're gonna put it back on Kimberly. Quick equip there. All right, and then we're gonna take Morrison's gear off and put it on Stedman. Quick equip. And then and then naturally DVA's gear is out there in the open. Put her gear, nope. It was with Schuyler. So let's take it off Schuyler here. Take that off Schuyler, put it on DVA. And then Morrison, quick equip. And then put Schuyler's back on her. See, it made it pretty easy to put the offensive people gear back together. So just to make sure I didn't miss anyone, everyone's gear is back in order. If you see a blank, that means you probably did something wrong. But if you see a blank, you can always check your inventory. If you got gear that doesn't have a face next to it, that means you probably misplaced it. But you can always check this location to see which gear is on what. But gear switching is an important tactic in the game when it comes to arena, moving up there, when it comes to doing campaign, and when it comes to fighting monsters in the middle of the map, like Frankenstein. Missile heroes do more damage, for example, today. So if it was a missile type of situation, I would do the same thing. Put my best gear on Kimberly, put it on Tesla, who's the best missile attacker by far. And so that you just got to move gear around if you want to maximize your progression in the game. So I know it can be confusing moving gears around, but again, if you have to write it down, that's totally fine. But this video does show you a visual how to do it. So again, once we clear this out, that'll gain us some rewards for doing so, and that way we can progress further in the map. We'll get some nice coal and also some of this rare soil, and I'll talk about that in another video. So yeah, so that'll do it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Again, it's very chilly out here, so I like this new concept. But again, there's just a lot of stuff to go over in this season, and just continue to be on the lookout for those videos as they come out. All right, like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, and I'll talk to you later.